I just spent 3 days in Brussels, Belgium, so now I can finally give my honest review of this comment on Brussels right here. So for those who don't know, people dub Brussels as being the most boring city in Europe, and I didn't even know this until I was one day out from going, so it was interesting hearing that and going in, and I wanted to not think about that when I had my first experience. And my experience there led me to believe that our opinion on cities really depends on what we are looking for. And so for me, I absolutely loved Brussels. This was not the most boring city in Europe for me. I don't think it would ever be if I stayed there even longer than 3 days, and here's why. When I show up to a city, I'm not looking for tons of excursions, tons of things to do, tons of tour guides, all this stuff. When I show up to a city, all I need is to walk around the city, take photos, talk to people, get good food, see good fashion, meet cool people, and that's exactly what Brussels did. When I arrived, I just started walking, and the architecture there was so cool. Like, it was awesome to look around and see very historic buildings and pavements, like it was cobblestone floors or ground. And then the buildings were super cool. Like, it felt like I was taken back in history. And then Brussels was very hilly too, so I was climbing up and I got to the top of the city and I was looking down on the city. Like, after coming from Amsterdam, it was super cool to be back in the hills. The terrace culture in Brussels was one of the best I've ever seen. Like, everyone was eating outside, sitting outside at all times of the day. I'm talking, it was 9 in the morning, people are having a coffee outside. And then it was 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. And you would think it was a Friday night, back what we see in the States, like in New York City. Everyone was always outside having a drink, having a coffee, talking, mingling. So many different cultures, so many different languages. Like, I was hearing French predominantly, but I could speak English perfectly fine there. Most people understood it. And another thing with my experience that I got really lucky with is I think I was there on the 2 of the nicest days so far this year. Like, the weather was absolutely perfect. It was 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that was like almost around 20 degrees Celsius. There was no clouds in the sky, so it was a perfect time to be there for me, so that helps. But I don't know, I just think like we have different opinions on what makes a city good, and Brussels was not boring in my eyes. So if you're going to Brussels, don't go in with that mindset, because you can get out of it what you want.